Hey everyone, as promised in the daily financial news, we have a treasure today. We are bringing on a couple of students, and right out the box, we got Cory, which we have to celebrate his seventh deal, man. Congratulations, much props.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're in the Facebook group. You're one of the active participants, and you really see everybody rewarding and helping each other. It's a lot of fun, right?
Yes, it is.
Very, very cool. Well, hey, do me a favor, introduce yourself, what you've been doing in this crazy world of real estate investing, because everybody may not have seen your first interview. And then we'll talk about deal number 7.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Cory. Uh, I'm prior military. Got into investing by reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I ended up buying a few properties. And being in the Hampton Roads area, I'm a subscriber to Mr. Landlord, and that's how I came across Mr. Zuber here because his book was the feature of the month, and I decided to give it a read. And when I read it, it was more in tune with my style and my situation at the time. And so that's when I began applying your concepts also.
Awesome. Well, for a couple of things, first and foremost, you're not only former military, you're retired former military. So you did your,
Retired military, yeah.
yeah, you did your 20. You just glossed right over that. So much respect for that. Thank you for all you did.
Thank you. Well, actually, I did a little bit more.
Oh,
I did 24.
oh, let's not short circuit. My bad. 24.
Right.
Oh man, that's awesome. And then shout out Mr. Landlord, right? If you guys don't know who that is, look him up. I've spoken a couple of times with him. He's got it down. I really like what he does. Yeah, Mr.
Exactly.
Landlord. He's a nice gentleman. So why don't we talk about deal number 7? What was it? How'd you find
Okay.
it? What's going on?
Kind of like your book. I found it on the MLS. I was fortunate to find a good real estate agent here, and uh, made the offer. I know I was in competition with, I think, one other person. Did an addendum to my purchase agreement. Ended up getting an offer. The appraisal came back a little low, so I ended up getting the house for the price that I wanted.
Nice. So let's break this down because a lot of people may not know Hampton Roads. You're in Ohio and Cleveland specifically, or where? Like the bigger metro.
Yes. Well, I've been in Hampton Roads, of Virginia, but
Okay.
this house is in right outside of Cleveland in a city called Euclid.
You okay. All right. Very cool. All right. So you find it on. So who found it? You or your agent? Who had the alert? Who saw it first?
It was me first because like your book, you need to be in the market every day. So I'm constantly looking. And so when I came about it, I brought it to her attention.
I was hoping you were going to say that, but I didn't know, right? Because we talk about it 10 to 20 minutes a day. You just never know, right?
Right.
Are my students
That's true.
listening or not? So that's awesome. So you found the deal, MLS hit in your criteria, right? We talk about a focused area, the box.
Yes.
It's in there. You're like, get it. You reach out
Right.
to your agent.
So when you see something, instead of having to think about it, you just pounce.
Awesome. So let's talk about that setup because, right, when you're new to the course, or maybe you haven't been in the market a little while, it kind of feels repetitive, maybe, right? It feels slow, right?
Yes.
Those first 30 or 45 or 60 days, you're like, am I doing this right? What is he talking about? Why am I doing this? I'm done already. What do I do next? Right? That you gotta, if as a new person, you got to appreciate, and maybe you felt that way for the first 30 days. Let's talk about that because that's what I want you to feel. Because once you get through that, you get to where you are. It's like, go. Right. So let's
Right.
acknowledge that.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, when you try something new, sometimes it can feel uncomfortable. However, you have to eventually make that move because otherwise you'll be stuck. And I remember in the group someone saying that they made an offer, and even though they didn't get the offer, they felt better because they put forth the action to make that offer. And I think they'll be more confident making more offers in the future.
That's exactly what we're trying to build with focus and daily activity, is that confidence level. I can only get you to the point of writing a good or great offer. I can't make the other person accept it, especially in a market with no inventory. But boy, as we get to the end of the year and into next year, more inventory, more opportunities, just having that confidence to write a good or great offer it's so empowering, right?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And the other thing we should acknowledge is you kind of entered the one rental at a time arena. You were already a landlord. You had 4 units, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah. So let's talk about the jump from 4 units to 7. What has, the course, how to get started one rental at a time helped you with? Is it helped you be faster, more confident, or is it just sprinkled knowledge around what you were already doing? Because by most accounts, you were already successful.
It was sprinkled knowledge. I feel like in anything, once you feel like you've learned it all, then it might be a problem. So I'm always going to be a learner as long as I'm breathing. So
Awesome.
when I did see your course, I said, okay, this could add value to me. So let me give it a shot. And so once I did retire out the military, it was kind of like you had the fork in the road where which direction that you wanted to go.
Yeah.
And it was either, hey, I could look for more employment, which I've been doing since I was a teenager, or I could take this other avenue that I've been wanting to do for years. And I was telling my friend yesterday about this. I don't think that I would ever get that opportunity again.
Yeah.
So I would rather take this opportunity, and even if I failed, at least could uh, I could live with myself because I made the effort. And it's a lot of people out here that want to do things and they let fear control them and they won't make the effort.
Mhm.
And so they look back and regret, and I didn't want to do that.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. So when you take the course, really it starts right out the box, right? Step 1 is focus, right? I call it the box or the criteria, whatever you want to call that.
Yes.
You had been doing this a while, so I'm just curious. Did you create a couple like, hey, I want to be over here and maybe over here, or did you just do one, or how did that work for you when you started diving in?
I wanted to get some more houses in my hometown because I've already had some in the Hampton Roads area. So I wanted to move over here a little bit. All these years I didn't realize that my market was pretty decent.
Mm.
And your book, I mean, you stopped me from doing some things I was going to plan to do. For instance, the alligator property.
Oh,
It was one point in time where I was considering. I was like, well, maybe I should refinance one of my houses and get another one. And in your book, it was adamant that no matter what. And so after I thought about it, I said, okay, this makes sense.
yeah.
And I didn't do it. So
Yes. I saved you. I tell you, man, I
you
hated
saved
writing
me.
that damn mortgage payment every time. Why the hell am I working?
Right,
I got to work like 10 hours to pay for this son of a gun. The tenant's living on my sweat. Oh, I hated that.
right.
Hated that. Ah, that's cool.
Exactly.
So you're in your hometown now, right? You've left Hampton Roads and come home, right?
I'm here right now. I
Okay.
still go back and forth. That's one of the that's freedom, if you ask me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I like it.
Very cool. So obviously then you have a property manager, right? You're not doing any self-management.
No self-management, a property manager. Uh, I
Awesome.
want to keep it run like a business, and me doing it, it probably uh, wouldn't be.
Yeah.
You can only do so much with so much, and
Yeah.
being in 2 different locations.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about some numbers because I know people would want to hear about them. So deal number 7, it was listed at what you got bid up and then the appraisal came in. So let's walk them through the numbers on that. What was it listed at when you saw it that morning?
It was listed at 65,000.
So listed at
Yes.
65, get competitive bids, best and final. You win the offer. How high did you have to go?
Luckily, it was only $500.
Sometimes. Yeah.
So it was 65.5,
Nice.
and then when the appraisal came back, it went back down to 65.
Oh, the appraisal came in 500 light.
Yes,
Oh my God,
and
I've never heard
that's
that.
well, that's what I was willing to pay anyway, because
Yeah,
that's when everything worked out. But I was happy when I saw that.
yeah, no, that's awesome. So, okay, you do your numbers at 65. What did you expect the rent to be?
I expected the rent to be, I put it between $825 and $900.
Okay. And then in our course, right, the other column that's important probably for this deal is what I call make ready. I think I call it make ready. What did you estimate you'd have to put into it, or was it already tenant ready?
It was, it's going to be some I have to put into it. The place was owner occupied, so
Hmm,
she took more care of it.
for sure.
So it's some minor things that I have to do, and which I anticipate shouldn't be more than a few $1,000s, like
Yeah,
maybe $2,000.
yeah, $2,000. All right, that's awesome. And so this is deal number 7. So you're still getting cheap bank financing?
Yes, I did notice that it went up a little bit,
Oh yeah.
because on house number 5, the interest rate was 3.6, and then 6 it was 3.5 on
Okay.
house number 6. This time it jumped up to 4.25,
Wow.
and
And how much time elapsed? Sorry to cut you off between
it was
6 and
about 30 days. I reached out to my loan officer
Yeah, what the
and I asked
hell?
her what happened. Yeah, I said, wait a minute. I said, I thought this was going to be around the same
Yeah,
rate.
something in
And
the
that's when he
threes,
told me
right?
that it went up.
Why has it got a
Right.
4 on it? What's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shocked me a little bit, but it's okay.
Yeah, now folks, do your numbers because or watch the playlist called Matt the Mortgage Guy. You know, I forget who did it, but somebody introduced a letter that basically raised rates on investors because Fannie and Freddie want to buy less of them. So, you know, we about 30 days ago, maybe 25 days ago, we saw a jump in
Yeah.
rates to the 4. So be aware of that. It's hard to get. I don't know anybody getting 3s today. So a 4.25 is pretty good, especially on what in the industry calls a small mortgage, right? Because 65K purchase, I'm guessing the first is 50 grand, 52, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So where are you finding lenders that will do those loans? Because I know some people out there are going, I can't find a lender to do a 50K first. Is it just a local bank or any magic there?
No, this bank is in Florida,
Oh, okay.
and um, I know the loan officer. He did live in Cleveland at one point in time, and we talked a few times, and I would ask questions because I had those same concerns, and he said, "Send them my way, and we'll get it done." So
Cool.
it's SWBC Mortgage, and
S So one more time, I
they've
want to
been
put that
good.
in the notes. SWBC.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We might want to put that in the private group after this video because I think there's a lot of people looking for lenders that'll do 50K is like the magic number. Anything below 50K people don't want to do, but some banks will do, 50K and above.
Right, and I think it might be location, because I know some of them only work in specific
Oh, for
areas.
sure. Yeah, they're
So
licensed in
yeah,
certain areas. Yeah, yeah. Very cool. So let's talk about the private Facebook group because you joined a long time ago. I may not even had the private Facebook group when you joined. I added that later. How valuable, how helpful? Do you have fun on that? Because I know you're responding, so I appreciate it. Do you think the Facebook
right.
group adds value?
I think it does. It keeps me kind of in tune with what's going on. I see what other people are doing, uh, and it keeps me motivated to keep doing what I do.
Yeah, that's what I get out of it too, right? It's you get to see what other people doing across the country. You get to
Yes.
celebrate successes. You also get to welcome new members. It's wonderful to see it growing. I think it grew 18 people in the last 7 days or something. I call it the happiest place on the internet. That's what it is for me, right? It's just
Right.
it's all positive, right? So it's a lot of fun. What would you tell somebody who's kind of not, kind of stuck at zero? They've lost themselves in Bigger Pockets or YouTube University, not doing anything. Would you recommend the course to them, or what would you tell them to do first?
Yeah, I would recommend interested in learning, and you make yourself available to us, which a lot of people wouldn't do. I recommend that they take the step forward, and for what you offer is they definitely will get value. So uh the questions or concerns, I know the questions that I've had about being a real estate professional and property management, I've always got those answers within the day.
Mm.
So if someone has questions or concerns, I think the group is beneficial because people have those answers.
Yeah. Yeah. The group's growing and growing. So when I think about what I've created, this is kind of how I envision it. And I'm curious, as a consumer of it, do you see it this way? So I wrote the book One Rental at a Time is simply a story. Hey, here's my 15 years. It wasn't a how-to book. It's like, here's my 15 years up this mountain of financial freedom. Oh my God, it happened to include this horrible real estate crash. It's a cool story,
Right.
right? Right. It's kind of a cool
Yes.
story, but nothing how to. Write the book. People like it. People like it. Then I get asked all the time, how. So then I finally break down over 6 or 8 weeks and I create the course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time. And I've never done a course before. I don't really consider myself a teacher. So I come out the box. I'm like, step one is start doing the work, right? You're going to define a little
Right.
box and I'm going to ask you to work every day. And I'm the kind of person that likes that, but maybe it's not for everyone. Like some people are like, hey, hold my hand for a little while and tell me your why and all of these rosy things. Um, Maybe as a military man, you appreciate the fact that it's like, okay, step one is this, step two is that. But I do have the why stuff. It's just later, right? It's kind of
Right.
backwards. Did it hit well? Did it feel okay? Or you're like, whoa, hey, slow down, big guy.
Oh no, it felt okay to me. It was something that I was already interested in anyway, so it gave a different perspective. I like that. I liked in the book that you kept going through the crash, because a lot of people, they would stop
Yeah,
and say, okay, well, so you went through the hard part, because a lot of people, they could talk when everything is rosy.
yeah.
So no, uh I wouldn't change it
Okay.
from my perspective.
Awesome. And again, yeah, I mean, people need to realize that what I've given you in the How to Get Started One Rental at a Time course is what I've been doing for 20 years. It doesn't change. What will happen is I
Right.
talk about average all the time, and average changes, right? Like
Right.
like 2002 to 2007 or eight, average was 5.5 to 7. At the peak of the market, it was probably 5. Then it rose over, and the world changes, and suddenly I'm looking for 15, right? In California,
Right.
I'm looking for 15. And then it comes back when hedge funds go, hey, that's good. I want some of that too, right? My God, where'd you come from?
Right.
So yeah, again, the book is a journey. It's not a how-to book. How to Get Started One Rental at a Time is, I'm trying to change people's lives. And if I can help people get to 4, if you get to 4, great. If you get to 10, awesome. That's what I'm trying to do. So you think we're on pace to help a lot of people?
I think you are.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
see new people come in the group all the time. I see some of the stories that's shared, even if it's from making that first offer to closing. So um, you're adding value to people's lives.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And mom, you're going to watch this. I'm doing okay. Just because I know my mom watches all these videos. So shout out
Okay.
mom. And she's former Navy. So she's yeah, military as well. So
Oh,
very,
okay.
yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. She was tracking Soviet subs, as I've been told. Right. She was all super
Oh, wow.
classified stuff, but that's all she could tell me is
Okay.
I would track Soviet subs, son. Like, okay, mom. Sounds cool. Sounds hard, but okay. So in closing, Cory, what do you want to tell people, about the course, about real estate investing? What are kind of your closing thoughts? Because you're always a giver.
Well, if this is something that you're interested in, give it a chance. What you really got to lose is, uh, you know, try it out. Is it costs minimal to read a book. A lot of people won't read a book, and it's minimal to read a book. And if you're interested, move further. In essence, the course in the book pay for itself if you do at least one deal. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
you really don't have anything to lose.
Very cool, Cory. Dude, I appreciate you giving me some time on Sunday. I appreciate you, man. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. All right.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.